Okay, we are live in a new studio, um, and I am curious to know if you can hear me. Uh, Usual, I'm just testing things out here, live, which I shouldn't do, but that's how it is. Um, yeah, the light is not perfect, but we will get there, and my website address above my head uh, can be seen, but not when I lean forward. So I need to put it up higher, I guess. Um, how are you all doing? Hi there, Angela. Mm, yeah, I from my side of the camera, it looks sort of okay. Um, but you'll have to tell me if there is something wrong with the audio and or the image quality. Okay. Well, Andrew, thanks a lot. Welcome as a member to the channel. Uh, where are you all from? Well, David here is from America. I expect, since I'm doing this at this very early hour, I'm expecting this to be uh, that mostly people from America will be watching. Um, and you'll have to forgive me for the setup and everything here because I am just doing this is the first live stream here from this new studio. Um, we have I see George from England, but the rest and Peter from Australia. But it I'm just glancing at the chat here, and it seems like most people are from America, but we also have people here from Sweden. Wonderful. Um, it's 9:25 p.m. Arizona time. Um, Andrew, have you been in a physical rehabilitation facility for almost 10 months? Wow. Um, I hope you're better now. Uh, Hi there, Jennifer. Hold on. Let's see. Well, you'll have to forgive me here for. Yeah, Jennifer, you are now a moderator again, if you want to be. If you, uh, um, oh, you're on the other account. Both. Okay, you're moderator on both accounts then. Now, we have people from Moscow here. That's in Russia. For those who didn't know. Yeah. So while people are, that works. Yeah. While people are joining here, I can see that I have to do something about the light, which is a little bit direct. It's over here. It's not pleasant for me, and it's a bit too well harsh, I would say. And I need to my little sign there needs to go further up or to the side, maybe. Okay. Um, Do you have any questions? Because this is just me testing out the new studio. Please let me know if you like the looks of my new studio here. This is actually where I'll be recording audiobooks because I'll be starting that after Easter. We have people from Ireland here, Waterford. Yeah, so let's see. Nice room. Horror business is nice room. Oh, thank you. And I have some stuff behind me, which I should. Well, you can't see it when I'm right in front of it, but maybe I'll be sitting over here. No, that's the wrong way. Maybe I'll be sitting here. That's actually better. Um, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? If I'm sitting over here, can you hear me? Um, Let me know because oh, okay. So I'm not too far away from the microphone. So I'll show you something which is really cool. I have one of these, but it's not connected yet. I am planning to get one of these, this one here, connected. Okay. So when I do, I can, you know, I can just talk into this microphone. Um, it should be easy to connect it. I haven't done so yet. Um, Pro. Yeah, well, you see, I will be recording my own books in Norwegian. Um, and um, this is actually not my microphone, it's my Norwegian publisher who they have equipped me with real professional expensive equipment here. Um, so, but I can use it for live streams as well. So, and behind me, whenever people ask me if I'm a Christian, I can just do like this. Oh, sorry, like this. uh, and that can be the answer. I should really sit out here, you know. um, yeah. Well, actually, I use Rode microphones in my when I make my videos as well. The I think this is a different brand. The microphone itself is a different brand. Is it a Sennheiser? I don't know, but the arm itself is Rode. um, yeah, well, Donald says low quality video feed. I'm not sure if you are referring to me and my face or what I'm saying or the image quality. Horror business says video is low quality. Yeah, well, you see, that has to do with sometimes the connection, not the camera. I think the camera is okay, and people are saying video is not low quality here, um, and it seems to have more to do with people receiving this than me. Um, yeah, I know that the video is low resolution, um, but I don't want to get into details on that. You see, if I do this in 4K or even 1080, then you run into problems in YouTube very often. Well, at least I do. I don't know why they make it difficult for me, but it's actually better to have a 720 on a stream. Um, but okay, it's boring. Uh, yeah, okay. Um, so it's important, okay, and this is the last thing we will say about that. It's important to separate between the camera quality and the quality of the connection, you know. And I can't do anything about the connection. I really can't, you know. So let's keep that out of the equation right now. Okay. So, do you have any questions? Let me know. Horror business is saying, "What are you looking forward to this year?" Well, uh, my instinctive reaction was to say, "Not much." Um, But I do, yeah. Well, I do look forward to quite a lot of things actually. I look forward to going hiking. I'm well, thank you, Richard. I'm going sailing, traveling. I will be so far. I know that I will be traveling to England, to Lithuania, to the Carpathian Mountains, and um, well, yeah, this I'm going to the World Championships in South Africa in October, so that's a bit, after summer, of course, um, and I'm sure there will be more travels than that as well. Uh, no, I haven't been to Japan. I haven't. I would really like to go there. I would try to avoid the cities because I hate cities. Um, but I would really like to go and see the islands. Well, it's all islands, of course, but the seaside and all of that. Yes, I'm aware of the Viking history in Ireland. Uh, thank you. So, Jarman, thank you for the super chat there. Um, thanks a lot. Oh, Cameron, do you live in Japan? You're saying that it's nature is super beautiful. Yeah, I've seen some photos and videos. It looks really, really beautiful. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, about traveling, there's a saying which I can't remember. I can't remember the words exactly, but it's from Havamal. Well, I think there are several where Odin, that guy, he talks about how the importance of traveling to gain wisdom, to learn, and it's true. When we travel, or I should rather say, people who don't travel, and I'm not saying this to criticize people who haven't had the opportunity to travel. I am criticizing the people who don't want to travel because they think that they live in the best country on the planet, on the globe, um, and it wouldn't travel even if they had a lot of money to spend on traveling. Traveling is expensive, so not everyone can travel. But this attitude that I'm seeing, and I must say this, mostly from some certain American politicians and so on, and why travel, and this is the best country on the planet and so on. It's very foolish attitude. We should travel, and when we travel, we see ourselves. We become more aware of our strengths and weaknesses. Now, there is also this attitude that everything is okay. You travel and encounter other cultures, and some people are open to everything. I think that's very foolish. Not, I'll just say this because I have traveled and seen cultures that are very different from the typical Germanic cultures, and they're not equally good. Not all cultures are equally good, and that provokes some people when I say that. But listen, there are cultures here on this planet where people will sell their kids not only because of poverty. Um, and there are cultures here where people will have pieces cut off their kids. that's not equal. It's not as good as my culture. Just isn't. Um, so and then again, cultures with um, let me see if I it's a big discussion. I was going to refer to India. Many things in that culture that are much better than our culture. But then again, in the same culture, you will find horrible things. So let's leave that. It's a big discussion. Um, so yeah, I guess when you travel, you become more aware of what's good about your own culture and what's not good, what's bad about your own culture. Um, So yeah, Kingdoms and Kobold says traveling is expensive. Yes, that's true. Um, and I think as soon as you go across an ocean, it becomes much more um, expensive because you can't use your bicycle or your car. You know. Let's see here. Uh, trying to uh, trying to keep up here with the chat. Let's see. Uh, Horror business coming to Norway 2 times this year. That's wonderful. Uh, uh, Posse M. Augustine says, I live in Argentina and I think it's a great country. Uh, yeah, I want to go there. Let's see. Um, I also really want to go to Africa. I've never been to Africa. So, it's a rising economy, and I think our perception of Africa has been skewed by mainstream media, um, and we don't realize how large that continent is. You know, um, much also due to the what's the word? What's the name? There's a name for it. When you take the globe and because the Earth is globe. It really is, but I'm laughing because it only takes a few couple of minutes before we get some flat earther in the chat. But when you take the globe and you stretch it out and you make a square map, you shrink the middle part and you expand the north and the south. So that's why Africa on a map like that um, looks smaller, much smaller than it is. So yeah, it's called what's it called? To do that. Named after the guy who first figured out how to do that. Um, yeah. So um, let's see. Well, I can't read all the comments. I'm doing my best here when I read the comments. So um, let's all band together and conquer Antarctica. Antarctica. Find out what's beyond the ice wall. Oh, Mercator's projection. Yes, thank you, Brian. Yeah, well, ice wall. Um, there is no ice wall. I know it's a joke, but yeah. Um, so well, yeah, it's a fun thing, is that the flat Earth thing. I'm fascinated by it. I am fascinated by many of these crazy conspiracy theories. Um, and it's a recent thing, you know. They found out a long, long time ago that the Earth is a globe. Oh, it's too early for me. Who was the guy who, one of the, the wise ancient Greek fellows, and he managed to calculate um, the distance around the globe. He must have been a genius, and he was not far off. What was his name now? Let's see, circumference. Yeah. Um, no, not Galileo. One of the ancient Greeks. He well, um, it, don't put a question mark there because I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, I should. I come up with these things, and I always forget. Like the year or uh, the name. Eros Eratosthenes, was it? Um, so yeah, okay. Yeah, seems like it was Eratosthenes of Cyrene. Yeah, I do have some Ammon Ammart, or lots of it, most of it, all of it, I think. Yeah, yeah. So that was, quite brilliant, and then much later on, people came up with this idea that the Earth is flat, and right now, I can't even remember who came up with that idea. Uh, but I'm sure that back Biden, um, I'm sure that it had something to do with the church. Um, but of course, if you go even further back, I'm sure that people who they who hadn't mastered the art of sailing the seas, I would guess that they thought that the Earth was flat. It seems logical if they did, but we don't know. You know. So yeah, let's see. Come on, man, you know the round thing. um, do you have a favorite medieval weapon? Yes, I do. Ah, oops. I'll, I'll be a little bit careful here. Yeah, the Dane axe. Well, I'll put it there again. Okay. Um, so yeah, isn't that funny? You have the election. Um, a dad joke is loading here. I have to warn you. The funny thing is, you have an election coming up, um, and the two leading presidential candidates. You have an election coming up, and you have to vote between two people who can't get an erection. Oh, I suppose. I hope you didn't hear that. I needed to say it. Um, yes, I just assumed that. Well, I guess maybe Trump can. I don't know. He seems to be. I don't know. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. The geriatric battle, yes. Um, and I'm not really. I'm not at all an expert on this, and at all, but you have the Kennedy guy. He seems like, from what I've seen, he seems like a much better alternative. I, I would have voted for him. But then again, I don't know. Maybe he's maybe there's something there that I cannot approve of at all. Uh, I don't know, but what he has said and what I've heard, he would have gotten my vote. Um, if I like Piers Morgan, no, I think he's an obnoxious little brat, um, and he should be ashamed of himself and consider his life. So, uh, yeah, politics. The way it's become, it kind of disgusts me because you know, it's the system itself. It protects itself. So yeah, I didn't vote last time here in Norway, and now we're probably going to have the fat old lady Erna Solberg as the next prime minister. And I'll just be honest, she disgusts me. Uh, uh, the Conservative Party here disgusts me. So does the Labour Party. The only party I actually have tiny bit of respect for is the communists. Can you imagine? I would never vote for them, but at least they seem to stand up to their principles somewhat. Um, but I disagree with them completely. I absolutely disagree with them. Um, so yeah. But then again, maybe if they got properly into power, positions of power, maybe they would show themselves to be just as corrupt and bad as the other guys. Um, yes, Jen says some comments are automatically hidden by YouTube, and you can't always allow them to show. Yes, that is true. I don't know what's happening on YouTube. It's not an open book to me. Yeah, no. Obviously, I would never vote for a communist party. It's crazy. Um, so um, let's see here. I'm just scrolling up. Uh, Cameron is saying, "Have you heard about RFK? That Kennedy candidate, isn't it? VP pick? No, I don't know what that is. As I said, I'm not fully informed on that. At this point, well, but please do inform us if you know something. I find politics boring now as well because what I I'm tempted to say, what's the point? What is the point? Uh, so, vice president. Okay. No, I don't know who his vice president would be. Has it said anything about that? Um, well, I know I don't play any musical instruments. I wish I could, but I don't. I never learned how to do that. So, well, why the Norsemen did started doing the raids? Well, there are a few theories about that, but one of them is certainly true, and it's very simple. It was they knew that would be silver and gold there, and it was not defended, all the monasteries and so on. So there would be opportunistic people uh, who would then raid those, of course. Um, RFK picked a rich Democrat donor woman for his VP. Okay, I don't know who that is. Queen Bee is asking, do you know who George Soros is? I know who George Soros is. Is he still alive? Um, yeah. Yeah, I know a tiny little bit about George Soros. Yes, absolutely. What I eat mostly red meat, and I think that it's an interesting question. And we talk about diet here. Just folded off the paper. Well, you did know I put some paper on the lamp here, but it got too dark. Um, so that's what I've been doing for a few minutes now. um, yes, diet. It's something that I certainly will be making a video about on my main channel. Um, because what we are seeing now is that the governments are issuing advice on how people should eat. It was already wrong and false and harmful what they said, but now it's just insane. Have you guys? I think it's probably the same in most Western countries now. The new guidelines for diet, for eating, what you should eat. Have you seen those? It's very disturbing. We're going to see a lot of. I can just list a few of the diseases and problems that we will see more of because of this. Um, Number one, I think, is depression, because we know that there is something about a vegan. Okay, so the new guidelines is don't eat meat, or they are saying you can eat about 300 grams per week or something like that. It's just crazy, and they're even severely limiting the intake of fish. And I thought, at least one thing we can agree on is that fish is healthy, not farmed fish, but fish from the sea, and no, it's healthy. Um, but no, not even that. Plant food. I'm not. I'm not saying this to criticize vegans. I mean, you can be very, very healthy as a vegan. It is possible, but it will be in spite of your diet. And we do know quite a lot about this now. And we know that the best diet for most people is balanced diet with a lot of animal protein, animal fats, and you add organic vegetables and carbohydrates to that. It and a lot of people have problems with grain. A lot of people have problems with milk. Um, and should say I'm one of those. I can't. Milk is not. I don't agree with milk, so my body does not agree with milk. So I stay away from that. So this is not a big mystery, and what we're going to see is depression. A lot more depression. But you know what? The same big company is selling all that ultra processed plant based crap. They also can sell you a pill against that depressions. So it's a win-win situation for them. We're going to see more obesity because the kind of diet that they are suggesting is much higher in carbohydrates and low in protein. And what that does is that people get fatter, you know. Diabetes, going to probably see an increase in diabetes, and the list goes on and on. You know, um, So I wish that it was true that we don't need meat and fish. I wish that was true, because I am fully aware of the fact that an animal has to die for us to eat meat or fish. And I wish we didn't have to do that, but sadly that seems to be how we are constructed. I mean, we are apes, and apes are, what's it called, omnivores. They can eat a lot of different things. And some say, well, look at the gorilla, they eat only plant food. No, they don't actually. They eat also animal. Well, they eat also insects, and they eat their own feces actually. And through that, they. No, I don't want to get into details. It's disgusting. So yeah, it's yeah. Let's leave that. But I'm just saying that please don't listen to those advices from these people. You need a balanced diet, and a balanced diet for most people means that you should also eat meat and fish. Yeah, well, Crackshot 322, we are apes, so we'll just leave that. We're not going to have the creationists here. I don't have patience for that. I'm 51 years old. I don't have patience for that, so just go away. So let's see here. Oh, we have that. Oh, I forgot. We have mostly Americans here. We are not apes. We never came from apes. I don't have patience for that. I really don't, and I don't care. If It's like I never pretended to be a tolerant person. And we're not going to have the creationist crap here in the chat, so just get rid of them. I mean, yes, you're talking to the wrong guy. It says Cameron, and it's true. I'm not going to sit here. I mean, look behind me. Do you think I'm going to take any of that crap? I mean, we don't come from apes. We are apes. I don't believe in evolution. Evolution is just a fact. It's not something you believe in. You can believe in your religion, that's fine. But don't come here with that crap, okay? I'm fucking telling you, I'm going to block you on the channel, okay? So, yeah, Jason says, the funny thing is you and I don't go to their Christian chats and troll them. Exactly. Yeah, it's very, very, very easy to see our the family tree, the primate family tree, and you have this myth: oh, the missing link have never been found. And you guys, you don't even know what that means. You don't know what the missing link is. It's just a saying from some Christian people far back decades ago. It's just nonsense. So. Sat Chimali says, Bjorn, we didn't all come from Africa, my guy. I'm not your guy. Okay? Now, we can look at that. Who says I said that we come from Africa? Part of Asian people and all Europeans, ethnically European people, have a mixed DNA of the species that came from Africa, Homo sapiens, and also Neanderthal. If you're an African, last time I checked, like ethnically African, you do not have Neanderthal DNA, but Europeans do. Europeans are a mixed breed. This is important to understand, and if you can't, go somewhere else. I'm not here to cater to your religion and your quasi pseudo science. Okay? Okay. People now. Let's see. Sorry, Maxim 1. I'm going to block people. Let's see. No, you know what? I'm just going to go through this after the live stream. I can't do that now. So, I'll do it after. Please unsubscribe if you can't respect what I just said here. Out of Africa theory was debunked. Out of Africa theory is interesting because the theory itself is sound, but what it has meant politically is not. So those two things are two different things, and it's important to understand that people today are a blend of different human species, actually. Not all, but most. It's something that I find very interesting. You should do some reading in proper books. Not only mythological texts like the Bible. So, out of respect for the decent people here, we will continue. So, a fishing license. Yes, you do need a fishing license in Norway, I believe. Yeah. So to the moderators, you can just get rid of those comments when they act up. We're not going to take that. So, yeah, Leslie, yeah, just we had some usual trolls. It is something that seems to happen at this time when I do live streams at this time of the day. And it's important for me to tell you guys that if you've seen how little YouTube is paying, I'm not going to sit here and tolerate nonsense like that. I could say that, oh, we're so unique. We're like these perfect snowflakes created by the Almighty. Hallelujah. I'm not going to say that because that's nonsense. And if you can't respect that, go somewhere else. Yeah, well, I've heard about Aron Ra on YouTube. I've seen some of his videos. He has a very good grasp on evolution and has a good way of explaining it to people who can't understand or have a difficult time understanding. Absolutely. So, yeah, we have moderators here already. Now, do you have any other questions? Yes, done. How many days a week do you train? I find that 3 times a week is best for me. It's because the heavier you train, I think the more rest you need. I don't find age to be a factor at all. I thought it would be as I was getting back to heavier weights, but no, I have the same need for rest between heavy workout sessions now as back then. let's see, what's the large item on your wall behind you towards the left side? Uh, yeah, that would be, well, that thing there. I got it in Australia. It's a boomerang. Is it that that one? um, let's see. Uh, yeah. Yes. Yes, it's a boomerang. I've never tried to throw it because it's very artful. You know, it's a piece of art. It's decorated with some um, you know, uh, what's it called? The culture there. Oh, yeah, it's decorated with traditional animal patterns. Um, yeah. Um, let's see. How did the Vikings hunt for food? Well, we know quite a lot about that because we have found a lot, and also since it was a culture where they wrote things down, we know quite a bit. They would hunt with spears. I am sorry, and the bow and arrow. They would trap. They would fish. They would use a multitude of techniques um, to well, but first and foremost, they were fishermen. If you look at the population back then, you can see that they seem to have settled where they could fish first and foremost. And it makes sense because it's much easier to catch food from the sea than from the inland here in Scandinavia. uh, this jumper here is, I can't remember now. I can't remember the brand, but it's a traditional Icelandic pattern, I think. And in my website here, you will see a list of my gear and equipment and clothes and so on. So if you go there, yeah, this boomerang is not designed to come back. it's it's one of those designed to go. Maybe it's not called a boomerang though. So let's see. Um, uh, NATO. Oh, I don't want to get into that now. No. Does it look like an Arnhem blonde boomerang? I didn't know. Aboriginal, that was the word I was looking for. Is it a hate word? What? No, I was going to say Aboriginal patterns, art patterns. So, no, I don't think it's a hate word. Uh, but then again, if we listen to the crazy woke people, then they come up with new ideas every day. Uh, I can't keep track, and I don't care. You know. um, so um, they call them Kuri people. Aboriginal fence them. Well, really, I would rather call them Kuri. Yeah, because that's more correct. That's their name for their own people. I would call them that if I knew. That's not a problem. You know, I don't see the big issue. Um, Rosemary says, I have a question for you. Do you know how Ukraine was created? Yeah, I have a good grasp on that. Yeah. Um, lots of lots of funny theories out there. Putin has his own funny theory about that. I noticed, and so does the simpletons in among the Western politicians. Why don't we why don't we talk with a proper historian about that? No, 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 we can't do that. We must talk with journalists interviewing journalists or politicians about how Ukraine was created. It's all the historians, they're sitting, they're listening to this nonsense, shaking their heads, you know. So, well, Patricia, that's very kind of you. Thank you, thank you. Um, let's see. Is there any height, hate, hate, hate crime law in Scotland? Now what? I'm sure I have broken all the hate crime laws, all the new ones. I can't keep up with them. Um, well, let me just say about Ukraine, it is a separate country from far back. It has its own culture, its own distinct culture. And listening to Putin explaining how about Ukraine, he's not stupid, and that means that he's lying, you know, which is not a big surprise. I know that there are fans here of Putin, probably. I don't care. Um, and it's funny how people, well, if you don't like Biden, then you must love Putin. No, they're all crooks. Can't you see that? They're all crooks. You've been lied to. Sorry, no. You know what? E63M650H. If you're commenting on me there, you've been lied to. Fuck you. You know, I read proper books about this. I spend actual time doing the research. Show some respect, okay? You can say sorry, or I'll just kick you out of here. I don't care. So, yeah, these things take actual time. You need to invest the time, okay? So, yeah, well, I say they're all crooks. That's 100% of politicians are crooks. I don't. That's a little bit. That's a little bit much. But I would say that. Uh, yeah, just kick this person. Um, let's see. Yeah, gone. It's gone. Okay. Well, they're not all crooks, but they're not honest. Most of these people seem to be corrupt. That's what I'm trying to say. Uh, yeah, the Putin and Tucker interview was very interesting because it showed some of the motivation coming from the Russian side or the Putin regime side. It was also interesting because you got to see the official Russian view looking out and towards the West. Very interesting. And I think that everyone should see it. And it was a great thing that Tucker Carlson did because he brought that perspective to us. Um, of course, the danger here is that, and this has already happened, and we saw that already, that some people are now thinking that Putin's little fairy tale story there was the actual truth about history. It was not. So you know, um, yeah. Let's get rid of. I'm sorry, kingdoms and kobolds. I meant you. Well, yeah. I won't accept people. I won't accept that. I think it's gone now. Let's see here. Yeah. Uh, yeah. The Biden money laundry country, aka Ukraine. Um, it's so sad. It's evil what they've done there. Yeah, I think Tucker Carlson is brave. Absolutely. Um, yeah, and it was also very Kingdom. It was also very um, valuable to see the frustration actually coming from Putin about how they were shunned by the West. And he also called out, the CIA involvement in certain affairs. And I think, you know, it's just because Putin says it, it doesn't mean that it's true or wrong. It's worth, he's a person worth listening to. You don't have to like him or love him for that. Um, let's see. Robert, thanks a lot. That's very kind of you. Um, that's very kind of you. So, what, Logan? A rain tax in Toronto, Canada? No, I haven't heard about that, but I'm not surprised. Um, Andrew, thanks a lot. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I have been busy, you see, with finishing my book. Um, so you're going to probably see more live streams now because I have finished the book now. Um, so yeah, I will be back from this new studio more often. Minimalist Workout is asking, do you think people are waking up and we're with battle for freedom? I don't know. Yes, I think more people are waking up. Are we winning the battle for freedom? I don't know. Um, my next overnight camping trip will probably be tomorrow. Um, and I don't know if that will result in a video. I'm not sure. Um, lately I've been preferring the privacy of not recording when I'm out, but I will get back to that. Thank you for the question, Mr. Love Good Mr. Love Good Times. What do you feel about Jordan Peterson? Mostly disgust, and also he makes me a little bit sad because he had a very valuable, although simplified message to start with. And then he fell into a hole. Now he's teamed up with these Christian. Well, nothing wrong with being Christian, but I'm talking about you know the Ben Shapiro and those people. Well, he's a Jew, but those people. He's taking narcotics and generally acting like a fucking idiot. Uh, Always weeping when he's talking about Jesus on live on camera and things like that. What's the expression? I think he's lost the plot. You know. So I have no respect for him. No, none. So, um, what do you think about Leif Sörby? I don't know who that is. Um, yeah, I liked Jordan Peterson, Andrew. I agree, but now it's I don't know what happened there. Well, he had some kind of breakdown, and yeah, yeah, Patricia. Yeah, it's quite strange, and going from common sense to downright horrible life advice. Uh, it's yeah. The Jackson Crawford thing. I have one. I have his sort of wall translation. I think it's a really good translation, but it's more an American thing because people like that, not people like that, but people with um, that profession are not that uncommon in Norway because I can just drive into Oslo to the university and study Old Norse there, which I really want to, but I can't take the time to do that now. But maybe I should have, if I was 19 again. Um, um, so yeah, this is not reality. I don't know which drugs he has taken. I think it's some psychedelic things, um, and this is not reality. Saying those drugs really affect your emotions. I can imagine. Horrible thing. He will be better in a few years. Yeah, but just imagine, destroying your mental health like that, and possibly for the rest of your entire life. It's just, uh, yeah, yeah. But I see it all the time. But Jordan Peterson, it's well, lost the plot. Yeah, lost his license as Divina, and I think first and foremost, it is something that has been very sad to witness. So, horror business is asking, do you ever go to concerts? No, I don't, because of loud noise. So I really can't. My hearing is not great. It is age related, but I want to keep as much of my hearing as I can for as long as I can. Pedro is saying, as a religious studies bachelor, his apologetics is really weird. Okay, I haven't really listened to that because I when he starts doing that, I to be honest with you, when his face pops up on YouTube, I do not click on that thumbnail anymore. Uh, but yeah, really weird. Yeah, yeah. Divina says, "Stay away from drugs." Yeah, that's yeah. Um, yeah, isn't that strange, Patricia? Jordan Peterson taking drugs, at his age as well. Why would he do that? You know, um, it is such a strange and weird thing. It's normally foolish teenagers getting into that. Not saying that's uh, excusable, is that the word? But a grown man, Um, Bro Tattoo, going to put you in timeout for 10 minutes, and you need to reconsider your life. And if you come back with nonsense like that, I'm going to kick you out. So, and I'm sure that you can understand that we can talk in a certain way about this. We can talk about drugs as being a negative thing, which it is. But if you come here and say that it's great, I'm going to kick you out. Also, because I want to preserve the health of my channel here on YouTube. So, yeah, BD's Sek. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Do you think Norway will manage to stay outside of EU? Well, it's interesting because Norway has voted. Have we had 2 or 3? The people were allowed to vote about the matter, and yeah, we always said no. But our politicians there, they are so eager to get us into the EU. But the people do not want that. So it would be against the will of the people, as with so many other things happening now. Cheryl is saying, "You look hot tonight." Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I am a little bit tired. It is early here, since this is morning and not evening here in Norway. Yeah, we need to stay out of the EU. I think it's a horrible thing to be part of the EU. Sweden is part of the EU. And what you can see is, Sweden, they have issues with that. They've lost their sovereignty to a large extent. No, I haven't. Odin, thank you for the donation. I have not read Sturla and Wolfgang's new book, history book. I probably will. Mr. Love Good Time, the Mr. Love Good Times. What do you think of Donald Trump? Well, I think he's obnoxious. But that doesn't really matter so much, does it, as the politics? And people need to separate those two things. I would have a really hard time voting for Trump, but if I had to choose between Biden and Trump, I would choose Trump, because the alternative, being Biden and his handlers, it's in my mind, it seems much, much worse. So I would rather have an egocentric narcissist there, like Trump, than someone deeply corrupt and criminal like Biden. So let's see. Yeah, it's. But I would also say, why in America, in the USA, it seems like a big joke that if we now get Trump versus Biden, and I hear this from many Americans, it's a little bit embarrassing, you know. Um, yeah, well, Obama, I think is in newer history, newer times. Obama has been the worst president for the USA in a long time. Um, I'm not thinking about his mannerisms, his being a demagogue and all that, but the politics, as far as I can understand, with my economic background, were devastating. Uh, I'm looking at first and foremost the long-term effects of those politics. Um, yeah, I guess that's racist to say. Is it racist? I don't care anymore. It could have been blue if I don't care. But um, yeah, let's see. Um, he was a war president and many other bad things. Yeah, let's see. Enough politics. Yeah, I agree. My opinion of Lion 307. Opinion on about the purpose of life. Well, I'll be very blunt about that. It's to have kids. Uh, I, there is more to it, but um, if you if you look at nature, that seems to be the purpose of life, because that's what all us animals are striving towards, and a lot of our human behavior is geared towards mating. Just think about it. Even if many people now they don't want kids. Well, at least they tell themselves that until for some it's too late. Um, but yeah, breeding. I mean, having kids, seeing your DNA move on to the next generation seems to be the meaning of life. And I'm sorry that there is more to it, of course, but it could be answered as simply as that. Um, what I think about hunting. Well, I'm not a hunter myself, but I should be, because I think that hunting, if done responsibly, that means you shoot only when you're absolutely certain that you will kill instantly. Um, that seems to be a much better way to getting animal protein than the industrial um, farming that we are seeing now. So that's my opinion on that. Same with fishing. Um, so if if I lived 100% in accordance with my convictions, I should only eat animals that I have killed myself. Factory farming, yes. Yeah. Um, but I don't do that because I guess you could say I'm a little bit soft. I don't think I could do it until I got very, very hungry. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. Um, so yeah, really, D-Man Oz Gaming. It's getting difficult to go off grid and living nomadic. Yeah, that's um, yeah, Andrew. Well said. I do not hunt, okay, but I should, you know. In Okay, I just said it. I won't repeat it. Yeah, it seems to be that this net that the government has, they are weaving a net around us, and it's getting more and more intertwined and strong, and that's a big problem. Um, that's a big problem. I think that's going to be worse in the future, and we need to fight against that. Um, because what they're after, what they want to us to lose is our freedom. And as we all know, without freedom, you have nothing. So let's see. Uh, Runar says after Trump comes a colored woman. Could be. I don't care. Could be. I don't care who's president in the USA. The politics is the only thing that matters. Could be a man or a woman or a black or a white or a blue or a straight or gay or whatever. Doesn't matter to me. Um, it's the politics that matter. But it is nice if it's someone who doesn't continuously act as a spoiled brat. It would be nice. I'm just saying it. It would be nice. Okay. Um, so let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to end this live stream now. Um, a reptile for president. Hmm. Well, I don't know about that. Um, I don't know about that, but it's funny. Yeah. Also, you know, I would have a problem with, you know, I don't like this thing where the American president is like very into a certain church, you know, certain church community. Um, that's a minus for me. They should be more neutral when it comes to things like that. Um, you know, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's for votes. Yeah, they always say "God bless America," so God help me and all that. Yeah, it's like they have to say that, or else all the old people will get a heart attack. You know, oh, we're going to hell now. The president didn't say "God save" and all that. You know. Uh, yeah, yeah. Trump is starting selling Bibles, his own brand of Bibles. You know, I it makes me laugh because it's so laughable. You know, it's so. Oh, yeah, Trump. There is only one Trump. You know, I'm glad there is only one Trump, but uh, it's unmistakably, is that the word? Trump selling his own Bibles. Uh, my opinion on firearm ownership. Um, well, um, I think people should be allowed to own firearms. Um, I it's a debate that is very people get all what's the word, triggered in the USA, especially about Second Amendment. It's like a religion to many Americans. Second Amendments. Oh, it's so important. Oh, Second Amendments. The holy gun. Do you have a church in America where you can go and worship the guns? Well, you should have. So, no, I think it's a little bit laughable with these people who, when you see people who, typically a fat old man with his beard gut hanging out, and he has a firearm at his side and a cowboy hat. I'm Norwegian, and we laugh when we see that because it is laughable. It really is. But that's called Texas. Yeah. Well, no, I think that it is seriously. I think it's healthy that people have guns. Everyone should have a right to defend themselves with guns if necessary. What I do think is stupid is when people think that, we see it in the prepping community. People are buying guns, like they have 100 guns and a house full of ammo, but they can't even walk up the stairs without getting a heart attack. It's from the perspective of self-defense, it becomes hilarious when you think that the gun is the only factor. It is not. Okay. So there is that, and I suspect that many people who have guns, they don't train with guns. That's what I suspect. I would like to see some numbers, like if you have the intention of defending yourself with a firearm, do you regularly go and train with your firearm? And not only at the firing range, target range, whatever it's called, but also where you move around. I've seen there are those facilities. How many do that? Because I think everyone who has guns for self-defense should do that. So yeah, Switzerland, they have a lot of guns. Yeah, they're even worse than Norway. In Norway, no, we don't have guns in Norway. Our socialist government took our guns away, and we have one gun in Norway. It's in a museum. We pay money to go and look at the gun, and that's why we have been run down by immigrants, and we are all communists here. Yes, yes. No, I am joking, of course. It's Norway is a country full of guns, hunting guns. I suppose half of the houses around me here have at least one gun in them, but I don't know. So, yeah. Mr. Love, good times. What do you think is the best way to protect yourself? I think the best way to protect yourself is being in a place where there will probably not be much conflict. Yeah, Vikings without weapons. LOL. Yeah, it is funny. If I had firearms, do you think I would say so on YouTube? But also, it's Norway and Sweden, probably Finland as well. There are guns everywhere. We did have a gun amnesty. I don't think they really got a lot of guns handed, but there are many, many illegal guns here. So as well, um, yeah. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I do see that not everyone got my little joke that we don't have guns in Norway and we only have one gun. It's in the museum and we pay money to see the gun and all that. It's and I'm telling you now, I've said so many times that we have many, many guns. It's very common to own a gun in Norway. Um, so yeah. So um, I'm not a gun person myself. I think for me, my problem with guns is the noise that they make, and I'm an archer. It is not as effective when you use traditional bows. Of course, I do also have a modern compound hunting bow. They are illegal to use in Norway for hunting, which is a good thing that they are. Well, actually, I haven't decided on. That's a bigger discussion, but. What do you hunt in Norway? Well, moose, roe deer, and sadly, we have hunting association here that have made it so that they hunt a lot of animals that they don't eat, and birds. Big disgrace. And they even hunt wolves here and bears. It's a big disgrace. Big disgrace. Uh, yeah, archery is great. You know, it takes a lot more practice, of course. Uh, and I must admit, I haven't trained archery for months now because I do that outside here and because of all the snow. And I was a little worried that my arrows would get lost in all the snow. But now the snow is gone, so I'll be getting back to it. Yeah. Yeah, wolf of Odin, yes. Hunting wolves is disgusting. Absolutely. No, I only speak Norwegian and English. I did once speak French and some Spanish, but because I learned that in school, I forgot about it. Didn't use it, so I forgot it. Um, yeah. Crossbows are not legal in Norway, but compound bows are. So there is no logic there. No, I don't speak German. I'm sorry. I wish I did. So the languages I want to learn, and I probably will never get to it, but I want to learn German, Russian, Old Norse. Um, it would be cool to learn Sami, you know. So yeah, I like the sound of German actually. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, German is very. When I went to school, you could choose between French and German, and I chose French for some reason. Um, yeah. Um, well, guttural. I don't think German is guttural. But for me, as a Norwegian, it sounds more mellow. But it's because I'm Norwegian. It depends on what you're used to hearing. Um, no, my boat will be on the water next week. Yeah. Okay. Um, I will be ending the live stream now, and I want to thank you for joining. We've been talking for 1.5 hours, so that's wonderful. And I'll see you soon. And thank you.